Hello there and welcome once again to the Performance Centre here at Howley Hall Golf Club in Leeds. I'm Ryan Rastall, PGA professional here and equipment expert for Golfshake.com. We've got some brand new golf balls from Titleist to test today, the new 2023 versions of Pro V1 and Pro V1x. There are slight differences in the way these balls have been constructed. We've chopped a couple in half here for you to take a look at. We should see a bit more ball speed. We should see slightly straighter flight and better dispersion off both of them. So to start with, let's talk about the Pro V1. Okay, so this is a three-piece construction golf ball, 388 dimple pattern. Like I say, 3 layers with this really thin mantle layer before we get to the cover, as well as this huge core in there. So we should see slightly lower spin on things like driver, so your long game shot should spin a little bit less with this. It will feel that little bit softer as well, so that player who prefers a softer feeling golf ball is probably going to prefer Pro V1. When we move to Pro V1x, we can see we've got an extra layer in here, so 4-layer construction, 348 dimples on this golf ball, so slightly different dimple pattern as well. This golf ball is designed to fly a little bit higher and will feel a little bit firmer. For those of you that want that bit higher flight, something that's maybe going to spin slightly more as well on those long game shots, but feel a bit firmer when you chip and putt, Pro V1x is probably the ball for you. But it'd be really interesting to put them to the test here on the trackman and see if we've seen an improvement from 2021 to 2023. So let's go hit some shots and see exactly how these golf balls perform. During this test, I'm going to hit some pitch shots with a 54-degree wedge. I'm going to hit some 7-irons and I'm going to hit some drivers with all 4 of these golf balls. So I'm going to start with the 2021 Pro V1 golf ball. So let's hit a few pitch shots and see how that performs. So moving on now to the 2021 Pro V1x. So we should see a bit of a difference in the feel and the sound of this golf ball. It should be a little bit firmer when we hit it. So let's give it a go. Yeah, it definitely feels firmer off the face. Some of you will absolutely love that when you hit a golf ball. Others of you won't. Generally, I like the ball to feel pretty firm when I'm putting and chipping with it, but I still want something that's going to spin a bit around the greens. And generally, Pro V1x is that ball, but for me, I need the spin down on the long game, so Pro V1 kind of suits me in that area as well. So I'm always torn between these 2 golf balls, to be honest. So we're going to move on now to the brand new 2023 version of the Pro V1 golf ball. So let's hit a couple of these little pitch shots and see exactly what it feels like. Definitely much softer than the X that we've just been hitting, but I can't really tell any difference between this and the 2021 version, if I'm honest, but I wouldn't expect to be honest, hitting these types of shots. So now moving on to the new version of Pro V1x. So again, we'd expect this to feel firmer, a little bit clickier off the face as well. Let's see how that performs. Definitely feels firmer, but I actually think it feels a bit softer than the previous version of Pro V1x. So to me, just with a pitch shot, it kind of feels a bit halfway between Pro V1 and the old Pro V1x, if you like. Now we're going to go through all of that again, but this time with 7-iron. So starting with 2021 Pro V1, then X, then 2023 Pro V1, then Pro V1x, okay? So let's hit a few with each. After hitting 7-iron with all 4 of the golf balls, it has to be said, can't really tell much of a difference in the performance without seeing the numbers, but the feel is very, very different. So both of the Pro V1 models feel softer, both of the Pro V1x feel a bit firmer. And if I was going to put money on it, I would say that the newer versions were just that little bit longer potentially, but I don't think there's much in it. I'm talking maybe a yard or 2 on average, but we'll see at the end. But now we're going to do all 4 of those golf balls again. This time we're going to hit driver. So to start with, let's have a look at how the Pro V1x from 2021 and 2023 performed when we hit those 70-yard pitch shots, okay? So we can see here for 2021 Pro V1 and Pro V1x, we're kind of spinning 8.5 and 9,000, so Pro V1x spinning that little bit more. In terms of the height, the actual Pro V1 was going a little bit higher on average, should be the other way around. In terms of that compared to the newer models, we're getting 8,500, so pretty comparable with the new Pro V1 to the old one. The new Pro V1x is that little bit lower spinning than the previous model, so potentially, like I said when hitting them, it's kind of a bit of a halfway between kind of scenario. But the biggest kind of bit of feedback I would say is the feel, yeah? So the X definitely feels that bit firmer than Pro V1 does. Right, let's get into the 7-iron shots that we hit then. So we can start to see here that the previous model of Pro V1, so the 2021 model, in terms of the height, was the lowest of the 4 that we hit, which is exactly what it's designed to do, and the spin was the lowest as well. We can see that. So in terms of the ball speed we were getting, they were all about 124, 125 miles an hour, apart from that 2021 Pro V1, which was that little bit lower. And we're seeing in terms of the carry distances, they're all within a couple of yards of each other, so no real surprises there. When we move into driver, remember we should be seeing now higher flight with the Pro V1x and slightly higher spin potentially as well. So if we look at the older models of the ball to start with, we can see there the height on previous Pro V1 is the lowest, so 85 feet, and the spin is considerably lower as well. Yeah, so we're averaging 304 yards, but probably carrying the shortest of all of them. So we're getting plenty of run on there, and the ball speed a little bit down as well. When we look at the Pro V1x models, both of them, the ball speed is faster. We can see identical in terms of where they're landing, so just over 281, both of the Pro V1x models, but the newer Pro V1x just spinning that little bit lower, so we're getting a bit more distance out of it in total. So, you know, I would say if I was choosing a golf ball for myself, out of all these 4, I would probably go for the new Pro V1x, I think, because it seems to perform quite nicely with the driver, but also when I was hitting the wedge shots with it, it was good, but also that firmer feel that it has, I think with the putter and with the wedges, I'll probably like a little bit more as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed that review. I've loved testing these and seeing exactly what kind of changes they've made. We've obviously seen the technology and the construction of these balls have changed a little bit, but what we care about is the performance and how that's going to differ from the old models of golf ball. And we can see here that it's minimal, but we'd expect that, to be honest, because the Pro V1 is a very, very good golf ball. You know, you may see these numbers here and you may fit into these categories where one of these balls may suit you. You may want more spin, you may want firmer feel or softer feel. But go out there, go to a fitting day, go see your local pro who'll talk you through the Pro V1, Pro V1x, Pro V1x Left Dash and AVX range as well, so that premium range Titleist offers, and find you the correct golf ball for your game. Hopefully you've enjoyed that, and we'll see you all very, very soon here on the Golfshake YouTube channel to help you play more and play better.